Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am collaborating with a sweet and dear friend of mine, Nadia, at DIY with Nadia. Every week she has a Wreath Wednesday collaboration, and this week she is collaborating with myself and Andrea Peacock. I will have links to both of these amazingly talented ladies' videos in my description box below. When you're finished watching my video, I would love for you to go over and see what beautiful creations they have made for you today. If you're coming over from their channel, hello, my name is Barbara, and on my channel I love to create budget-friendly farmhouse decor. If that is something that you enjoy, I would love for you to click that subscribe button. With all of that being said, you guys, let's get started on our project for today. We're not going to be making a traditional wreath, we're going to be making more of a tabletop wreath. For the base, I'm going to be using one of these round wood plaques. I believe I picked this up at Walmart for about $1. After I remove that tag, I'm also going to be using 4 of the medium-sized beads out of this large pack that I bought from Amazon, which I will have linked in my Amazon store if you are interested. I'm going to use the beads to create feet for our base, and I am just going to attach them using some hot glue. Once I have all of those beads in place, I'm then going to take my hairdryer to go over it to make sure that I get any of those glue strands off before I go in with my Waverly White chalk paint. So this only took one nice thick coat, and it provided really good coverage on this light wood. I did make sure that I painted the entire piece, including the bottom. So I'm going to set that to the side and let it dry for a moment. And while that is drying, I'm going to take one of these 3D wreath forms from Dollar Tree, and they come with these little aluminum type silver pieces that you attach at the top and the bottom. So if you've never assembled these before, all you do is pull your rings around to your desired location, and then you'll take those aluminum pieces and place it on the top, and they have these little tabs where you will fold over the shorter side of the tab and then wrap the larger side around. And you'll do that for all of those wreath form pieces. Once I have all of mine in place, I do go back in with a pair of pliers and just squeeze those tabs in place to make sure that they stay. You'll also go on the opposite end and do the exact same thing, just making sure that everything lines up. Once you have all those tabs in place on the top and the bottom, and I have made sure that all of them are nice and tight and secured, I am also going to go in with a little bit of hot glue to add those underneath, just to make sure that they all stay in place and that it is very sturdy. After that glue has set up, I am then going to go in with some of Dollar Tree's nautical rope. Now I did lay this on some wax paper just so that I wouldn't get glue everywhere. But this nautical rope will come apart in 3 strands. Well, it'll come up completely apart, but you can keep it in like 3 different strands. So I'm going to take one of those strands. I'm just going to separate it all, take the one strand out of the 3, and then I'm going to wrap this entire wreath form with this nautical rope. What I'm going to do is just start off with the hot glue and hold that end piece in place, and then I can wrap it around the 1-wire wreath form all the way down to the bottom. And once you get down to the bottom, you can just overlap it to go on the opposite side and create a nice sort of crisscross pattern at the top and the bottom. I also did make sure that I went down on my first strand. I made sure that I went down on the little metal piece that comes from the top and the bottom on the inside, and I wrapped those as well. This is how it looks after everything has been wrapped, and you can still kind of move your wreath form around just a little bit to shape it. For the base, I'm just going to hold the form on there, and I'm going to make 4 markings so that I can come in with my drill and drill holes so that I'll be able to attach this wreath form to the base. So I'm just going to set it up on some blocks of wood to make sure that I don't go through my table. And I'm just going to drill those holes, and then I'm going to come in with some 18 gauge wire Now this wire, it's a pretty thick wire, but it's also very bendable, and you can pick this up at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to pull a nice strand out, feed that under the bottom, and then I can hold my wreath form on there and pull it through the wreath form, and then go to the opposite corner and pull it back through the base. So once I have the wreath form set up, I can go to the opposite corner and feed that through. And then once I get that pulled through the bottom, just make sure that you pull it really tightly once you get those through so that it'll sit nice and secure. Then I can twist those together, and then I can feed one back through another one of the holes, and then go back through the wreath form and then come back down under that opposite hole. And then once I have that one fed through, I can twist it really, really tight on the bottom and make sure that it is nice and tight and secure, and that it is going to stay on this base. So once you have all of that tightened up and twisted around, I do put some hot glue on there just to give it some added security. And I put a really good generous amount of glue and let that glue dry. And then I'm also going to go on the top part where the wreath form meets the base, and I did put a little bit of glue under there. So to decorate this, I am using some eucalyptus from Walmart and some baby's breath from Walmart. I will also be using these beautiful purple and white dahlias and some really beautiful purple, they almost look like daisies, from Dollar Tree. And some floral wire to attach them. So I just cut my eucalyptus off of the bundle, and it's going to give me 4 nice strands. I'm going to take my floral wire and attach the bottom part of the eucalyptus to the bottom part of the wreath form. And once I get that twisted around there nice and tight, I'm going to cut that excess off, and then I'll take my pliers and push that down into the nautical rope so it doesn't poke your fingers or anything. And then I just did the same thing at the very top to attach that eucalyptus. I just skipped every other one, so you're going to have the greenery on every other wreath form. And then I'm going to go in with these beautiful dahlias, the purple and white, and if I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. I am going to hot glue these to the base, so right at the bottom of the wreath form onto the base, and I'm going to go around and do that on every other piece until I get it nice and full in the way I like for it to look. Then I put the last one on the very top that has that metal piece poking up through the bottom. And I'll just set that and attach that in there. And then once that glue sets up, I'm going to come in with some of the extra eucalyptus leaves that came off that last little branch. And I am just taking 2 leaves a piece and gluing that down right underneath that wire wreath form. Then I'm going to take the baby's breath and cut each of those branches off, and then attach them together to make a nice long strand of baby's breath. And I use about 3 of those, and then I'm going to attach those to the wreath form on the opposite pieces from where the greenery is. Then I'm going to take those beautiful purple daisies and glue those down in between the greenery pieces at the bottom of the base, and then I'll go all the way around and attach that. And then to give it something a little extra at the top, I'm going to take this decorative ball that's made of like branches. I've had this for a long time. I believe it came from Target. And I'm going to take one of those 3rd strands that come apart from the nautical rope, and I'm just going to pull one of those strands out. Feed that through the top part of my decorative ball, tie a knot, and then I can tie that to that metal piece that we've wrapped with the nautical rope at the top. I'm just going to hold that, and that little metal piece hangs down from the top part of the wreath. I'm just going to hold that up to see how far I want it to hang down, and then I'm going to glue that to the top part and wrap that around so that it'll have this really cute twine decorative ball hanging from the center of the wreath. You're just going to want to hold that in place until that glue sets up. And then I'm also going to be creating a bow using some buffalo check ribbon that I have. I believe this came from Hobby Lobby. Yes, sorry. I couldn't remember if I used the Dollar Tree or if I used the Hobby Lobby ribbon. So I am just going to hold it up to see about how large I want my loops to be. And I'm going to cut down 2 strands or 2 lengths of ribbon the same size, and then 2 that are slightly shorter than that. And I'm going to create my loops at the top part, and I don't remember exactly like how far or how long the loops are, but I'm going to take the long one and then I'll put a short one on top of it, and then I will flip it over so that the fabric color is the same on each side, and I'll put the short one and then the long one on the bottom. And then I decided that I wanted a few more loops, so I created a couple of more about the same size as the 2 shorter ones. So it'll be 4 shorter ones and 2 longer ones. And guys, I'm sorry, it's a little bit off frame, and I hope I'm making sense. But I'm just going to pinch it right there underneath the loops, take some of my floral wire and twist that around underneath the loops. I'll cut that excess off that's sticking out from the bottom of the loops, but I'm going to leave the 2 longer ones and then 2 of the shorter ones for tails, and I did dovetail the ends of those. I took the extra floral wire and attached that to the top part of the wreath form, and then you're just going to want to fluff that bow out until it's nice and fluffy and pretty, and then you can shape your tails just by curling them around. And this is how it turned out. I think this is so beautiful. I love how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in the comments down below. Please take care, and I will see you guys next time.